Well, good afternoon, everybody. Certainly want to welcome you to this official press conference kickoff for Gervonta Tank Davis versus Leo Santa Cruz. I'm Brian Custer, the host of Showtime Championship Boxing. And, this unique event pits champion versus champion. And it's rare in our sports sometimes when you have world titles in two weight classes at stake. But that's what we have here, because the winner of this fight walks out of the ring with the WBA world title strap at 130 pounds and 135 pounds, although the weight limit for this fight is at 130 pounds. And this fight features two of the sport's most exciting fighters and punchers. You've got, on one hand, Gervonta Tank Davis, a two-time world champion, 95% knockout ratio, a guy unbeaten, explosive, powerful, taking on a four-division world champion in Leo Santa Cruz, a man who always overwhelms his opponents, it seems, with his punch output and activity. Gervonta, the world champion, at 135 pounds. Leo, the champion, at 130 pounds. And you can see this fight live on Showtime pay-per-view Halloween night, October 31st, 9 p.m. Eastern. It comes your way 6 p.m. Pacific time, and it's all going down deep in the heart of Texas at the Alamo Dome. Tickets went on sale on Monday, but you can get your tickets through Ticketmaster.com. It's a four-fight card because we'll begin the night with Isaac Cruz taking on Diego Magdaleno. And then you'll see the return of former world champion Regis Prograis, who's taking on the unbeaten Juan Heraldez. And then in the co-main, you're going to see the WBA super lightweight champion, Mario Barrios, putting his title on the line against Cowboy Ryan Carl. And of course, the main event, Tank Davis versus Leo Santa Cruz. This fight fits the Showtime Championship boxing mantra of the best fighting the best. And the man who has been beating that drum ever since he came to the network is the president and general manager of Showtime Sports. I call him boxing's best friend. Here's Steven Espinoza.
Thanks very much, Brian. We are just coming off two thrilling performances about 10 days ago by Jermell Charlo and Jermall Charlo. We're again reminded that in order for boxing to be at its best, to thrive and grow and be vibrant as we all want it to, the best fighters must fight the best fighters. We saw Jermell and Jermall take those big risks a couple of weeks ago. Each emerged and elevated their status, and maybe more importantly, delivered some really exciting fights for the fans. And it's reminding, tough fights matter. Matchmaking matters. It's good for the fans. It's good for the sport. And that's why we're so excited to bring everyone out there this matchup of Tank Davis and Leo Santa Cruz, one of the most anticipated, most exciting matchups of the year. We're once again partnering with Mayweather Promotions on this exciting event. The partnership of Showtime and Mayweather Promotions has brought more than a little bit of excitement in the past, and we're again coming together on this important event, and we have a lot in store for you. We've been working with TGB, and they have been tremendous support on this event, and we know that we're going to be bringing fans who are there in the Alamo Dome and there in front of their televisions one of the most exciting fight nights of the year. We have power and speed and athleticism versus experience and pressure fighting. We have a boxer with one of the sport's highest knockout rate versus a fighter who's one of the busiest, highest pressure fighters in the sport. I give credit to both Tank and Leo for taking this fight, for taking these big risks. And in fact, give credit to everybody on this card. We are thrilled with the undercard. We've seen Mario Barrios fight on Showtime before. He will be defending his title against a very entertaining fighter in Ryan Carl. We've seen Regis Prograis mature through ShowBox. we are thrilled to have him back, and he's got his hands full in a matchup with Mayweather Promotions' own Juan Heraldez, who has also developed on Showbox. And of course, the opener, Isaac Cruz and Diego Magdaleno, is another fight fans' dream fight. So altogether, you know, there's one thing we can be sure of this card. It will be exciting. This is a great clash of styles in the main event. It's supported by some very good undercard fights. And once again, you know, we come together with Mayweather Promotions and TGB to bring fight fans the best that the sport has to offer. Brian.
Okay, Stephen, appreciate it. And as Stephen pointed out, you know, to put on an event of this magnitude, you've got to have some great promotion. And we've got two of the best in the business with this fight card. He mentioned Mayweather Promotions, and of course, the president of Mayweather Promotions, by the way, on the Hall of Fame ballot this year. He's also the pound for pound pay-per-view king, known as TBE, none other than Floyd Money Mayweather himself, who, by the way, the promoter of Gervonta Davis. He joins us now as well. Floyd?
Hey, everybody. I want to say thank you to Showtime. I want to thank everyone, you know, for showing up for this call, for the Zoom. You guys have all been great. You know, this is not about me. This is not about my record. This is about these two young, hungry lions. Tank, I just want to say that I'm so proud of you for the things you have accomplished in just a short period of time. And Leo, I got to commend you also. You trying to do record-breaking things, go to what I think your fourth weight class. So both of you guys, I commend you both, you know, for making this fight. And I'm glad that we was able to take this fight to the Alamo Dome so we can at least have some fans, because this fight needs to have fans. And I want everybody, to tune in. The people that can't make it, I want you guys to tune in, because we know Leo is always going to bring excitement, very, very high volume. Tank, he's going to bring that power with that speed. So when you bring these two together, you get nothing but a collision. So, and the people that's in San Antonio, you guys must, I know we can't have a full crowd, but you guys must show up, for these guys can show out. These guys do it for the fans. These guys love the fans. And I'm proud just to be a part of such an event. You know, when Tank was very, very young, I told him someday he will be fighting on pay-per-view. And now we're here. And Leo, know I've always been a fan of his also. And like I said before, both of you guys deserve it. The fans deserve it. And I want you guys to go out there and be at your best. And I want to say thank you to my business partner, Leonard Ellaby. You're doing a hell of a job. You've been doing a hell of a job. I'm proud of you. Mr. Al Heyman, a father figure, one of my closest friends. You're doing a hell of a job. Brian, keep up the great work as far as you're commentating. I'm watching you. You're getting better each and every day. And Stephen, I couldn't choose a better network to give me the deal that I wanted years ago. So I'm proud of everybody that's on this call. You fighters, both of you guys, I know you guys are in tip-top shape. And just go out there and get the fans what they want to see, excitement. You know, I've been here 1,000 times. And I'm pushing because I want you guys to do record-breaking numbers as far as when it comes to pay-per-view. So I just want to say thank you to everybody that's on the Zoom call. I want to say thank you to the fighters.
Thank you, Floyd. Appreciate you, brother. And again, as Floyd said, it's going to be in San Antonio. You show up, the fighters will show out. As Floyd mentioned, you see him with us as well, the CEO of Mayweather Promotions, Leonard Ellaby. He is with us as well as the head of TGB Promotions, and Tom Brown, a Hall of Famer. Those guys will be available for any questions members of the media have once we're done. So let's hear from the fighters. That's what we're all here for. Let's hear from Gervonta Davis and Leo Santa Cruz. Let's start, though, with the WBA super featherweight champion of the world, and that is Leo Santa Cruz, a man who has 39 fights, 37 of them victories, just one defeat, one draw, but he's also got 19 knockouts. He is a 4-division world champion. And guys, we would like for you tell us how camp has been going for this fight, your thoughts of fighting in front of fans, and give us an opening statement. Leo, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Brian. I feel really great. Camp has been going great. I feel really strong. I'm very motivated. My dad's been here with me, my brother. They've been helping me out. So, this is the best camp I've ever been at. I'm in the best shape of my life because we know we have a hard fight. I think the hardest fight in my career. We're facing a, hard-hitting fighter. He's got great skills, and he's, been trained by the best ever, Floyd Mayweather. I know he's gonna come with everything. So, my determination is to go out there, beat Tank Davis, and I could say I beat one of the best, and I beat, a fighter that's been trained by Mayweather. So that for me, that's gonna be something really big, really great. So I'm just, motivated here in the gym. I wanna go out there, give the fans a great fight. Yes, there's a big opportunity for me to become a, pay-per-view superstar, and that's what I want. I know there's an opportunity for Tank Davis too. He's gonna come with everything, and we are both gonna go out there and just give a great fight for the fans. And I just hope that we both come out, healthy from the fight, and we just give a great fight for the fans. Como estoy diciendo en inglés, estoy contento, estoy muy motivado para esta pelea. Sé que es la pelea más grande de mi vida, la más dura de mi carrera, yo pienso. Y sabemos que vamos contra un peleador fuerte, que viene con todo, tiene buenos golpes, y pues es uno de los mejores en la división. So, estamos bien motivados, queremos esta pelea. Mi papá ha estado en campamento conmigo, nos sentimos bien fuertes, bien entrenados, buena condición, y vamos en la mejor condición de nuestras carreras porque sabemos que tenemos un rival muy fuerte, pero como he dicho, esos rivales que son mejores, que son muy fuertes, sacan lo mejor de mí, y es lo que queremos, que saquen lo de mejor de mí y hacer una buena pelea para todos los fans. Espero que todos los fans nos miren, estén atentos, mirándonos ahí en vivo en San Antonio, Texas, o en vivo por pay-per-view. Nosotros estamos listos para una gran pelea, una guerra, y vamos a dejar todo arriba del ring. Gracias.
Gracias. Thank you, Leo Santa Cruz. And now, let me introduce a two-time world champion, 23-0. He's got 22 knockouts. Again, that's a 95% knockout percentage. He calls himself the one. Here's Gervonta Tank Davis.
How you doing? First, I want to correct, Brian. I am actually a 3-time world champion. As far as, getting ready for this fight, I feel as though I wanted to bring my camp to, Las Vegas, and train more than, 8 weeks or 6-week camp, because I know that I'm, fighting a top-notch fighter. We know Leo come to fight. He bring pressure, he's a high volume fighter, puncher, So I brought my camp here, the more so, stay focused on just boxing, being close with, my Mayweather team, and as far as, having Floyd Mayweather in the gym more with me, hands-on and things like that, So I'm definitely, grateful for Mayweather, Floyd Mayweather to be in my camp and things like that. That's just to help me on and tweak things, and make me be able to fight better, and as far as, my sparring partners, we got over 5 sparring partners, just to make sure I'm well prepared. I want to thank my personal team, Lauren Savakin, Calvin Ford, Russ, and also my guys that, box with me, just to keep me on my day-to-day, working hard. We definitely working hard just so we can, get a fans, a big, exciting fight, because at the end of the day, the fans won. We got 2 elite fighters going head up, and I'm bringing my best. So, come October the 31st, it could be a, one of them pay-per-view fights that you definitely will remember, So we definitely want y'all to tune in. If you can't make it, make sure y'all order the fight on Showtime pay-per-view. And I'm ready. I'm grateful to be in this position. So I definitely want to thank Showtime, Bryant, Mayweather Promotion, Floyd Mayweather, Leonard, my personal team, Calvin Ford, Lon Shavakin, Russ, and also Coach Kenny that can't be here because we have another fight that's fighting a week before me. But we are as one, and thank you, Leo, for even stepping up and calling me out, the test yourself, just that just make me feel like, you know, um, you have a lot of heart, and you want to fight the best, So I feel as though the winner out of this should be on up there in pound for pound, if not the top five, I believe. So October 31st, the fans won, and the winner takes it all.
Fantastic. And you're right, Tank. 3-time world champion. My mistake. You won it at 130 twice and now champion at 135. Leo, first question will come to you because a lot has been made of this fight of Tank's power and many people believing that could be a deciding factor in this fight. How have you prepared so that Tank's power won't be a factor for you in this fight?
Yeah, the way I have prepared is, I've been sparring with bigger guys, fighters that fight they're like a 145, 147 right now. So that thing that's gonna prepare me to take their punches. When I'm right there with Tank Davis, I'm gonna be able to take his punches. I've been working a little bit my neck and everything, and just eating a little bit more better, and just just go out there and hopefully I could take his punches.
Fantastic. Gervonta, let me come to you because you talked about you've been basically having camp there in Vegas alongside Floyd Mayweather Jr. You said he's been a lot more hands-on. Have you done that because of the person you're fighting in Leo Santa Cruz, the respect you have for him, and what nuggets have you learned from the great Floyd Mayweather for this fight that he's given you?
I want to say he Floyd definitely been more, I don't want to say more hands-on now because he always been hands-on for us, like not training, but like telling me what to do inside the ring. And even, we could say for the Gamboa fight, he was actually damn near in the corner. Well, he was in the corner. So I don't want to say more hands-on. I want to say just being there as far as, telling me this is my first pay-per-view fight, he coaching me through it. It's just a lot, leading up just to being on pay-per-view because of the crowd. You got a lot of pressure on you. You gotta live up to fighting on pay-per-view because you want to be able to fight on pay-per-view not just once, but continue to fight on pay-per-view. So it just all around the board, just coaching me, being there when, I'm down or anything like that, to be able to push me. And because he been there before, it's stuff that my coach can tell me. It's stuff that Floyd Mayweather can tell me that because he been there that my coach can't, So it definitely, we've been hands-on, hand-in-hand with both of them, my coach and, Floyd and things like that. And I'm just grateful to be in the position I am today. So I definitely want to thank my team. And the sky's the limit for me.
Tank, let me follow up on that because I saw that there was a lot of social media traffic, not only towards you, but the Mayweather people. And a lot of the social media traffic was about weight. And considering that this fight is at 130, let's be real clear. Fight at 130, will Tank Davis make the weight?
Gervonta Davis definitely will make the weight.
There are other people who are tweeting and coming back at you saying, well, if Tank makes 130, he'll probably be too dehydrated for the fight. What's your response to that?
We just got to wait and see. This camp been great for me. I'm already at weight, as you can see. I'm not big. I'm just been working hard. our camp is not, worrying about weight. Our camp is worrying about Leo Santa Cruz and giving them a great fight come October the 31st. That's what we worrying about, and getting them big checks. That my team that, put me in position whereas though I could be able to get them big checks. So we just ready.
Well, I love it. Spoken like a true Mayweather fighter. I like that. Leo, let me come to you because Leo, you did an interview with ESPN Deportes, and in it you said, talking about Tank, you said, quote, "He's strong for the first 4 or 5 rounds. We have to be careful that he doesn't catch us with any of his big shots. But after that, he gets tired. And that's where my experience comes in. I can go right after him and drown him and pressure him. This is how this fight must be." You still stand by that, Leo?
Yeah, of course. Tank Davis, he's strong the first, 5 rounds. I know he's also dangerous, and in every round into the last round, he's still going to be dangerous. But I think the most dangerous rounds are going to be 1 through 6. Those are the ones he has the most power and everything. Like they say, I have to watch out in all of the rounds into the last bell rings. I have to watch out because he could catch me in any round. But like in the first rounds, if I see he gasses out, I'm gonna go on top of him, pressure, try to break him down, get him tired. Because a fighter, when he has another fighter in front of him, putting the pressure that frustrates him and gets him tired.
Gervonta, what's your reply then to the critics who say Tank Davis is basically a first half fighter? You get him into the second half of the fight, and then your chances of winning exponentially goes up.
Most of them don't last through the second part of the fight. They all go down 1 through 6, probably 7. As we know, as Pedraza, he brought the pressure, and he got stopped the 7th round. And we could say my last fight, I knocked Gamboa out in the 12th round. So they can say whatever they want, but they're gonna have to prove it once we get in there, October the 31st, and fall on.
Leo, listen, if you're victorious Halloween night against a young, powerful, explosive champion like Tank, what should the boxing world be saying about Leo Santa Cruz that they haven't said already?
I think that I deserve to be in the pound for pounds, top 10. If I beat Tank Davis, because Tank Davis is a great fighter. He's one of the best out there. I think nobody wants to fight him, and I chose to fight him. I picked him. I said I wanted to fight him. My team got that fight, and so if I beat him, October 31st, I think I deserve to be in the top 10 pound for pounds and one of the best.
Tank, same question to you. You walk away with both of those belts at 130 and 135. What should the boxing world be saying about Gervonta Davis?
I agree with Leo. The winner should be, at least in the top 10 pound for pound. Probably one of the, I want to say the smallest, I want to say the smallest, besides, what's the guy name?
Monster.
No, no. I forget his name. But anyway, just top pound for pound, 1 through 10 pound for pound. The winner take it all. They be a champion at 130 and 135. I think there's most I'm focused on is just getting the win.
Yeah.
I let the fans and make their opinion on the fight and things like that, where I stand, and I know where I stand as myself and my team. So it really doesn't matter to me. I just want to get the win and get a win impressively.
Before we open this up to the members of the media, I'll start with you, Tank. You're victorious. You walk away with the belts. Where does your future reign hold? At 130 or 135? Both.
I believe 130. If we got a best top dog at 130, I can stay at 130. If it's a right business move to move to 35, then I definitely move to 35. But right now, we focus on Leo and becoming that pay-per-view star.
And Leo, same question to you. You're victorious. Where's your future reign? At 130, 135?
I think the same thing, my future at 130. if I win, I want to stay at 130, defend the title, unified. And if there's another opportunity at 135 and it makes sense, I'll move up to 135.
Fantastic. I know there are a number of members of the media that have joined us, and they certainly want to ask you questions. All you have to do, members of the media, hit the raise our hand icon there in the Zoom. Chris de Blasio, he's our VP of Communications at Showtime Sports. He will acknowledge you, and we will bring you in so you can ask your questions. Chris, let's bring in members of the media so they can ask.
Thank you, Brian. We'll start with Keith Eidick from BoxingScene.com. Keith, unmute and ask your question.
My question is for Floyd. Floyd, you and Leonard have said for over a year now that Gervonta is ready for pay-per-view. What makes this the right time and the right opponent to test his pay-per-view value?
I'm gonna let Leonard speak because I already spoke in the beginning. He haven't had a chance to speak, so I'm gonna let the CEO of Mayweather Promotions answer that question. Leonard.
Thank you. It's a terrific fight. It's a clash of styles. Leo brings, he's a nonstop puncher. When he's relentless when he gets in there. He comes forward. You have Tank, who's has the power, the youth, and the speed. This what makes for a terrific matchup. You have two young fighters who want to give the fans the best that's out there. And in Leo's case, we must remember, what really surprised me about this, Leo really pushed for this fight. So obviously he sees something in Tank's style that he really feels as though he can take advantage of.
But also Leonard, talk to him. He wants to know really about the guy. Keith wants to know about the pay-per-view. He said, we kept on talking about eventually Tank was going to be on pay-per-view. Why is this fight on pay-per-view now, and why is it so important right now? That's what he basically going to know about.
Right, it's very important because the timing couldn't be better. You have these two young fighters who are ready to give the fans an exciting fight as it relates to Tank. Tank is one of the biggest draws in boxing right now. He's become a huge attraction. He's been able to sell out venues in the UK. He's been able to sell out fights on the East Coast, down south, in California. And so the timing of this couldn't be better. As it relates to Leo Santa Cruz, he's a 4-division champion. He comes to fight. He gives the fans exciting fights. And again, this is what the fans want to see, and the timing couldn't be better.
Well, I look at it like this. I feel like the reason why I said he's ready for pay-per-view is because his fan base is growing, and the demographics is getting bigger. But Leo, as far as on the West Coast and in Texas, Los Angeles, and certain other places, Leo Santa Cruz have a huge following. So this fight can only be on pay-per-view, which, my opinion.
Well, I just have one more question for you. Will you have a more active role on Fight Night? Will you work Gervonta's corner, or how is that going to go?
I haven't spoke to Calvin yet, but in the gym, me and Calvin works hand to hand. For those that don't know who Calvin is, that's Tank's trainer. And me and Calvin, we work together in the gym. Sometimes I have to leave and fly away to take care of business. But when I'm back, I'm there giving, just pointers, talking to him about pay-per-view and how things work. Because sometimes when a guy is in a boxing gym and he's had a hard work throughout that day, sometimes a guy don't want to work. As far as he don't want to do certain interviews and certain things like that, but you have to, because that's a part of the job. That's a part of you being a champion. That's a part of that's a part of pay-per-view. That's a part, and when we invest in a fight like this, we want these guys to give us 100% because we're giving 100%. So once again, I'm proud of both competitors, and I just want to tell both of you guys, just keep up the great work.
Thank you, Floyd. Thank you, Leonard. I have a quick question for Leo. Leo, Gervonta has said that no issue at all. He's going to make weight on October 30th. What are your thoughts on that? Or is there any concern on your part that he will not make 130? No,
that's true. No, there's no concerns. I think he's going to make weight. He's been training really hard. It looks like, he's in good shape. And like I said, the last fight when he didn't make weight, I think it was because it was Thanksgiving Day, it was Christmas. So, you know, for a fighter, it's hard not to eat during those times. You see the food and everything, you want to eat. So I think that was the issue last time. But for this time, I think he's going to come ready, and I think he's going to make weight.
Thank you, Leo.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you, Keith. We're going to take our next question from San Antonio, John Whistler. John, unmute. You can go ahead with your question.
We can't hear John. Hello?
Stand by here. We'll go to our next question. Let's go to Brian Campbell with CBSSports.com.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, there you are, John. Thank you.
Hey, hi, John Whistler.
Hey, my first time, so bear with
No
me.
problem.
Is Steven still there?
I'm here. Yeah.
Steven, I wanted to know how you landed at the Alamo Dome, and were there other venues that you considered?
You know, that's actually a better question for Tom and for
Okay.
Tom Brown at TGB and for Leonard and Floyd of Mayweather Promotions.
Okay. Tom, how you doing?
Hey, John. See, the last time I was with you about 5 years ago, you told me you retired.
Well, I have. Semi.
No, it was important. It was important.
Fighters are just like fighters. They never retire.
Yeah, it was important for Floyd and Leonard and all of us involved at Showtime to have fans at a fight of this magnitude. So we started looking where we could possibly go, and Texas was the best place. And it was still difficult with so many sports going on at this time because of the pandemic. There's a flood of sports, and the Alamo Dome was open. It's the right venue. We're able to sit up where we'll have social distancing. We've got pods set up in groups of 2, 4, and 6, and there'll be the aisles will be 6 feet apart. It's just the right fit for a fight like this, and so we're excited to come back to such a great fight town.
You've been associated with the Dome before, haven't you, in other fights?
Well, if you remember, years ago we did Azuma Nelson and Leija down there.
Yeah, you were associated with that. What do you like about this Dome?
I've always loved the Dome, and and you can space it out on a fight like this during the pandemic, where we can get 15 to 18,000 fans in there and make it a great night. And it's just, look at San Antonio is a great fight town. I'm just so happy we're able to come there for the fans of San Antonio.
And John, I will say this now that Tom has gone through details. San Antonio is a great fight town. They're great fight fans. There's a big history. You've got not just hometown fighters like Jesse James Leija, but you've had historic fights there. Showtime has been there. There's been big pay-per-view fights there. The fans there support boxing, and so we couldn't have picked the promoters couldn't have picked a better place to go in my plan, because that's the city that has supported boxing for decades.
We brought Laura Smith down there too.
That's right. Yep.
What's that?
Laura versus Ishe Smith a couple years ago.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John. Let's go to Brian Campbell with CBSSports.com. Brian?
Thanks, everyone. My first question is for Leo. Obviously, you're moving up in weight against arguably, one of the biggest punchers in the entire sport. What was the advice or any concerns from your father and your brother in accepting this fight?
No, the biggest concern is, that, make sure he makes weight. And I think that's not going to be no problem. He's going to make weight. That was the biggest concern. And it's, to watch out for his power, because we know that Tank's a heavy hitter. He's going to come out and try to knock me out. But, we're working here in the gym how to avoid those big shots, not to get caught with those big shots, and just be smart. I know I got to fight a perfect fight, and that's what we're going to try to do.
Thank you. Floyd, I wanted to go to you and say, we talked before about knowing when a fighter's brand is ready for pay-per-view. 15 years ago, you made your debut as a headliner against Arturo Gatti. Are there any similarities in your eyes to where Tank's brand is now and who he is as a fighter in person to where you were entering the Gatti fight?
Well, I believe in Tank. You know, I believed in him ever since he been, you know, a young kid, and he's still a young kid to me. But he's also, I mean, he's still a kid in my eyes. But we know he's an adult. He's a young man. But I still see that young kid, and I told him someday you will be on pay-per-view, and it's gonna come real fast. And when it comes, be ready. It's a little different now. You know, when I faced Arturo Gatti, we didn't have social media. We didn't have the different social media outlets. We only had, I was pushing and promoting. I think my first pay-per-view, the first time I went out there, I think I've done some pretty cool numbers. I've done over 300, probably close to 400,000 homes my first time out. But, you know, these two guys probably can beat that. The reason why they can beat that because, like I said before, it's totally different now. We didn't have the social media outlets at that particular time. And hopefully we can get 1 million buys, 2 million buys. Anything is possible, like I said before, with the different outlets that we have in today's time. But both of these guys deserve to be on pay-per-view. And, you know, I'm not here to knock their skills, but these guys, I want both of these guys to go out there and be at their best and keep pushing it so we can do record-breaking numbers.
My last question is for Tank. You've knocked out so many guys early where we don't know in some ways how great of a boxer you are. This Leo fight could push you the distance. How much have you not had to show yet that you have from the standpoint outside of the power punching, just being a technician inside the ring?
A lot. You know, I think that, you know, Leo gonna bring the best out of me come October the 31st. And we just gotta wait and see. You know, I've been working hard each and every day on sparring bigger guys, smaller guys, just to prepare myself all around the board, you know, for Leo. You know, we know Leo is coming to fight. He's want to say he's strong as far as endurance and things like that. So I'm definitely working hard. You know, it's not even just about, you know, fighting Leo. It's about the whole package. I want to give the fans a great show. I want to put on, you know, a great show in front of being my first pay-per-view fight. You know, I want to not let my team down for pit me up against, you know, this task that was in front of me. And it's not just Leo, it's pay-per-view, and it's definitely the fans. You know, I just want to give, you know, everybody, you know, a great show, you know, and it's going to be a spooky night.
Thanks, everyone.
Very good. All right. Thanks, Brian. Let's go to Childs Walker, Baltimore Sun. Childs?
Yeah. Hey, this is for Gervonta. You had built so much momentum last year, not just in terms of the fights, but in terms of the crowds you were drawing. How difficult has this year been, just with you know, all the waiting and, you know, not maybe knowing when this was going to happen between the pandemic and everything else?
I believe as a professional, you got to be ready. You know, you got to be, you know, got to be able to, you know, adapt to whatever come, you know, and no, it's just a life lesson. You know, I've been working out, you know, for 3 months and things like that, you know, every day just to prepare for this, you know. So it just I'm more grateful to be in this position than anything, you know. Forget whatever happened, you know, behind me. I'm just so focused on what's in front of me, and that's getting past Leo, and that's putting on a great performance in front of the fans. You know, I want to be able to go back in the locker room and, you know, hug Floyd Mayweather, hug Leonard, my personal team, Lauren, Calvin Ford, and the rest of the boxers that actually train with me. So I'm just thankful and I'm grateful to be in this position. So it's sky's the limit for me, and I'm ready.
Well, and I guess for Leonard and Floyd as well. I mean, what have you kind of been telling him throughout the year to kind of help him get through, you know, the waiting for this?
Well, Leonard has been speaking to Tank. You know, Leonard has been speaking to Tank. I think the last year. You know, I still give him pointers. You know, because, you know, he has a daughter that he spends a lot of time with, and of course, you know, he's in a position to where he can travel a lot now. and he's doing a lot of different things, which I'm proud of, that I'm able to put him in a position, to be a multi-millionaire. So Leonard's been, doing a lot of communicating with Tank as far as through the last year. I'm always going to be, hands-on as far as getting, talking to him about life lessons and what he can do to become better inside the ring as well as outside the ring, and just talking to him about not making the same mistakes that I made. So Leonard can kind of touch on that subject.
Yeah. Over the last year, I've seen Tank mature a great deal. One of the biggest things that, he got out of his comfort zone with coming to Las Vegas. He's used to training in Baltimore, and that showed, where he was ready for this next step, because he's come out here, he's been completely focused. Everything that we've asked of him, he's done. He's in tremendous shape. He wants to go out there and put on the best performance of his life. And come October the 31st, I'm very confident that's exactly what's going to happen.
All right, thanks, guys.
Okay, thanks. We'll take our next question from Christopher Venegas with Boxeo TV. Chris?
Hi, good afternoon. Buenas tardes, Leo. This question is for Tank Davis and Floyd. Do you guys think that San Antonio is all going to be rooting for Leo Santa Cruz, or what do you think? Who has the home field advantage? And the fight ended up in San Antonio.
Well, I'm glad, early on I was able to take Tank over to take him over to other places. Like I said, these are the things that we talk about. And one of the things I spoke with Tank about is the fans can't fight for you. So we just want the fans there, the boxing fans there. If it's for Leo, then so be it. If it's for Tank, so be it. We just want fans in there because this is probably to be extremely boring without no fans. When I can't say boring, but it's going to be a lot more exciting with fans, because none you can't even put the word boring with none of these fighters. Leo, like I said, he got a high bio, and he's a tough competitor. And of course, it's crazy that I don't know why both these guys right now should be ranked somewhere in the top 10 pound for pound, in my opinion. So far as the fans, we're going to be down in San Antonio. So, I know a lot of, Hispanics in San Antonio. So most likely they're going to be rooting for Leo.
Leo, ¿tú qué piensas de San Antonio? ¿Crees que toda la afición va a estar de parte de tu lado?
Yo la verdad pienso que sí va a haber mucha gente mía, mucha hispana allá, pero también sé que Tank Davis trae muchos fans, mucha gente lo sigue, le gusta su estilo de pelea, so yo pienso que también mucha gente lo va a venir a apoyar a él. He estado mirando que hay muchos que lo van a apoyar a él, so yo pienso que va a ser muy pareja la audiencia, y pues eso, como dice, eso es bueno para los dos, que haya apoyo para los dos, y nomás que nos vengan a apoyar para dar una gran pelea. I think of the fans is going to be like 50-50, because Tank, he's a great fighter, great skills. A lot of Hispanic, they want to see him fight too. So I think the fans, it's not going to matter, but I think it's going to be like 50-50 fans for both of us.
Gracias.
That's great. Thank you, Leo. All right, we got time for a couple more here. Let's go to Sean Zittel with FightHype. Sean, go ahead.
Hey, champs. Just wanted to start with Leo Santa Cruz. Leo, the one fight we saw from you with Carl Frampton in the rematch, you really boxed a lot and used your legs. Is that kind of the game plan you're going to have for Tank, at least in the first half of the fight? In the second half, go back to that aggressive style? Or are you just going to maybe even try to box all 12? What do you think, Leo?
Well, the truth, we have to fight like that. We have to fight from the outside, because we know Tank could hit. We know if he catches me, he could hurt me. So we're gonna try to box, all 12 rounds. But you know me, I try to give the fans a great fight. So I think I'm gonna try to go in, brawl with him. Give a great fight, exciting fight. Back and forth, throwing punches. But if I feel that I could take his punches, I'm gonna stay there and make it a fight. But if I see he could, he hits hard that he could hurt me, I'm gonna be smart, and you just gotta fight a perfect fight to go out there and just, make it to a 12 round.
And Gervonta, I know Floyd, in working with you this camp, he's always preaching about boxing skills. And even though the power's there, try to win every round boxing. But at the end of the day, No one's went the distance with you since you become a champion. Will this be any different? Do you think he won't be able to take the power when it's all said and done?
I just, I can't say what he could take, he could till we get in there, so I'm just more focused on, putting on a great show, giving the fans, a exciting fight, and once again, the fans won, people that, tune in on pay-per-view win, and I'm just blessed to be here. I'm happy to be here, and just want to give a great performance. That's why I'm working so hard in camp, just to, give my appreciation back to my team for putting me on this platform, so I'm definitely working hard each and every day. And come October 31st, you definitely don't want to miss it.
And lastly, Floyd, in working with Tank, can you share with us anything you've given him in dealing with a fighter like Santa Cruz, who's aggressive, throws 100 punches around? I know you dealt with guys like Maidana, who did some of those things. Could you share with us, any of the tips you gave Tank for this fight with Santa Cruz?
Well, you was in training camp, so you had a chance to, Sean, you was in training camp, so you had a chance to, of course, be there. I've been knowing you since you was young, because, I'm a lot older now, and I'm, a veteran in the sport. But I'm proud of both fighters just for stepping up, giving the fans this fight. I can't, I'm always giving Tank a lot of advice. And the advice that I'm always going to give him is some advice that is not for everybody, because everything ain't for everybody. And the advice that I give him, I can't reveal it. Just like, what's the game plan? When you guys ask, what's the game plan? You think that I got to where I got to, given my game plan. So every time when I went out there and I spoke to the media, as well as like when I spoke to the media and the people when they wanted to know my game plan, I never really gave my game plan, because you don't give your game plan. Your game plan is for yourself. You guys will eventually see the game plan. But like me as a fighter, I was just very, very versatile when I was fighting. And what a lot of people don't know is Leo is versatile, because Leo showed one time that he can box on the move. And even like Tank, a lot of people don't know that Tank boxing skills is really better than his power. He just didn't have to use his boxing skills, but Tank can really, really box his ass off. And so when we're in a boxing gym, Sean, as you've seen me tell Tank a lot of times, stop always resorting just to your power and use your boxing skills. And that's what Tank did in this training camp.
Thanks so much, guys.
Okay, thanks, Sean. We'll go to Jeremy Herridges with Fansided.com. We have time for just a couple more. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Thank you, gentlemen, for taking the time. Gervonta, kind of piggybacking off of what Sean said, during your experience with Floyd, working with Floyd, being mentored by Floyd, what would you say is the single most important thing that Floyd's taught you, either in or out?
Save my money, invest. It's not even really about boxing, it just pointers on life and things like that. Boxing, that come after, so basically just life pointers, me coming up under him, he giving me that one-on-one talk, even before, me being a world champion or even signing to be what Mayweather Promotions. It took a little time for me to actually sign the paper and things like that. And he was already preaching to me and taking me, places, that I'd never been. I remember him taking me all over the world, and him just giving me game and things like that. When we say game, it's like teaching me the ropes, so I'm definitely appreciative for, having one of the best, the best in my corner, so I think God blessed me with that, so that's why I say I have a lot of edge over a lot of fighters, young fighters that's coming up right now, because they don't have that right now, as far as, fighting and things like that, I'm just here to give them a great fight and put on a great performance.
Floyd, Obviously, considering your career and your experience and your wisdom within boxing, it's one thing to say that Gervonta has potential. It's another thing to articulate how high that potential is. How high is Gervonta's potential in your eyes?
I've told him this before. Fighters can be their own worst enemy. A lot of times what I like to tell them is this. And I'm always real with them because I care about them. I say, we got to really, I said, boxing is something that's not done just 8 to 10 weeks. Boxing is a lifestyle. So I want you to, even when you're not fighting or sparring in the gym, make sure you're running. Health is your wealth. So I want him still running and also going to the gym, hitting the bag, just maintaining the weight. Showing that he's very responsible as a young man. So, and also what I tell him is this, like the same thing that I did, smart investments, because inside that ring, he could do it all. He could do it all. And a lot of times, and what's so crazy is you guys haven't seen the best Tank Davis. And I'm just being honest. Sean had a chance to be in a boxing gym, and a lot of different people had a chance to be in a boxing gym and watch him at this camp. And his camp was so great because he had so many different looks. He had a lot of pressure fighters. He had combination fighters. He had guys that counterpunch. He had big guys. He had small guys, which is great. He had guys, I think he was boxing middleweights. He was boxing middleweights. He's boxing junior middleweights. He's boxing welterweights. He was boxing featherweights. So all this plays a major part in his career. And he's going up against one of the best. And I want to tell Leo Santa Cruz, you are one of the best fighters out there, Leo. And I'm proud of you. And I want to commend you on putting your money up, Leo, because Leo called me one day. We was talking on the phone, this was years ago, and said, you know what? Do anybody got a Lamborghini for sale? I said, well, I got more than one Lamborghini. He said, do you want to sell? I said, absolutely. And Leo cashed it out, all cash. So it's obvious he's putting his money away. And just my advice to both fighters, invest. Invest so you guys won't end up like a lot of these other athletes and entertainers. And that's the best thing about my career. It's not what I did inside the ring. It's what I did outside the ring. So, because I'm able to still live the same life. And Tank, you already know, I'm going to always stay on top of you to be the best that you can be. And you show the people that you got boxing skills, not just power. And both of you guys go out there October 31st and give everybody a treat. We're not gonna trick them. We're gonna give them a treat on Halloween. And I'll be in San Antonio, loving it.
I think that's a great place to end it. Gentlemen, thank you so much.
Well said, Jeremy. Appreciate all the questions from the press. I know there are a few more in queue. We can work with you on the PR side to address more as the promotion goes forward. But for now, we'll turn it over to Brian Custer to wrap things up. Brian?
Okay. All right, Chris, thank you very much. Floyd, thank you. Leonard, thank you. Tom Brown, thank you. And members of the press, thank you for all joining us. Folks, it all goes down Halloween night. Grab your Halloween costume. Come on out to the Alamo Dome because you got champion versus champion. And if you can't be there, you can watch it on Showtime pay-per-view. That is October 31st. It's a Saturday, live on Showtime pay-per-view, 9 p.m. Eastern. That is 6 o'clock Pacific time. And those of you in San Antonio, those of you traveling, want to come out to San Antonio, you can get your tickets through Ticketmaster.com. The best fighting the best You've got the 4-division world champion in Leo Santa Cruz. You got the 3-time world champion in Gervonta Tank Davis. Thank you for joining us. We will see you October 31st at the fight on Showtime pay-per-view.